Picks of the week.
My pick of the week is a fun one, Borderlands 2 for Xbox 360, PS3, and of course the PC. So this is a first-person shooter. I never played the first Borderlands. I didn't quite get it, and now I get it. And it took me a while to get into this and to get into their system and how it works, but now I'm really into it. Basically, it's like a loot game. It's like a exploration and adventure game, like a Zelda game or like an RPG. I've never been a big RPG guy. Never got into the whole World of Warcraft thing with the questing and stuff. But it's kind of like that, except that all your missions are based on first-person shooting mechanic. You know, instead of wielding a sword or other weaponry, it's all guns. And they advertise they have a bazillion guns, which I actually have a complaint about, but I'll get back to that in a minute. But it's cel-shaded, which gives it a cool look. Unfortunately, it shows the consoles are really showing their age, because I mean, I play on the Xbox, and you know the frame rate at best is 30, certainly not 60. Sometimes it slows even beyond that. But it still looks good. It's a very interesting visual style. It's a totally open world map. And so, like a Zelda game or one of those open world adventure games, you're walking around and there are story quests you could go on, but there's also side quests and side missions. Then you can get special upgrades and things by completing basically a side quest. And again, even no matter whether you're shooting robots, people, or giant snow monsters, it's all the first-person shooter mechanic. As you can see in this trailer that you got going now, your character, you can choose from one of four player classes and then upgrade various characters too. You have like the gun berserker, who's just like a strong, like double gun wielder. You got like the psychic girl who can manipulate people with their mind. So there's like different superpowers you can do. I got the guy who's like does sniping and invisibility. So there's like various things like that. And so you can quest. I haven't done the multiplayer yet, but I've heard the co-op is fantastic. You can do quests with your friends, and it'll upgrade just like if they were playing single player individually. It'll upgrade their stats and their progress in the single player mode as well. There's a whole, like, you can buy like another like $50 upgrade pack for like new missions that I guess get added to the open world over the next year, which is pretty cool. Kind of like how Call of Duty adds content over the next year to beef up, make a whole separate game. It's funny too. I've seen a lot of video games say that, oh, it's very funny, and it's like, this is stupid. It's just, I actually laughed at this a lot of times. They have actually a very funny script and funny characters.
Yeah, they say the writing is really good for it.
It is, and I can say it definitely is. I enjoyed it. I love that little robot that runs around and acts like an idiot with the one eyeball. What else? My one complaint is the inventory system. You really have to be into an inventory system to appreciate this game, and I hate inventory systems. And this one is not very good. I've played other games like, I remember Crysis 2 and like Modern Warfare. Some of these first-person shooters, they give you a better indication. They have a bazillion guns, like they said. There's so many guns, you can't remember what they do. I mean, there's like hundreds, and they say that's the fun of it, but then it's really hard to figure out which gun is better than any other gun. It's really hard to compare one to the other, and you only carry a very limited amount in your backpack at once. So you're constantly finding these things, and I constantly have to run back to the vending machines that pop up, and you have to sell back certain guns that you find and sell back shields and upgrades that you just find on the ground, but they're not as good as what you're carrying. But it's really hard to tell. They don't give you a nice graph or visual system to see what's better. Maybe eventually that'll click and I'll understand how that works. But overall, it's fun. It's a world you want to explore and you want to look for loot, even though, you know, it's as silly as that is to walk through a video game virtual world and look for hidden items. They make it fun because it's a fun place to explore and you never know what's coming next. So I think that's cool. And again, I did not play the first one. I jumped into the Borderlands 2 because I read reviews that said that it's better and improved in the first in a number of ways. So maybe they did. So that is my pick, Borderlands 2.